You find a mid-career role that matches your exact skill set. You submit your application, and you hear nothing but silence. You repeat this 50 times. The result is exactly the same. The common explanation for this 0% response rate is the applicant tracking system, or ATS. The assumption is that this system acts as an AI gatekeeper, automatically rejecting resumes that lack a magic sequence of keywords. That is a myth. The ATS is not an algorithmic judge. It is simply a digital filing cabinet. It stores your application and makes it searchable. A human recruiter or hiring manager almost always makes the final call. If your application fails, it is not because a robot rejected it. It fails because of a poor signal-to-noise ratio. You are burying your core value under generic, untailored text, making it impossible for the reader to verify your competence quickly. A 0% interview conversion rate indicates a structural failure in how you deliver your professional data. The true obstacle standing between your application and an interview is a human recruiter. They're staring at a screen, often with a backlog of up to 200 CVs to review. Because of that volume, they are not reading your resume word for word. They are aggressively skimming it. You have a maximum of 6 seconds to prove you are worth a phone call. This diagram demonstrates how standard resumes fail the 6-second test. By packing critical data into dense, unreadable paragraphs, you force the reader's eye to dart erratically, wasting their limited time and patience. To survive this filter, you must stop treating your resume as a historical log of everything you have ever done. You need to reverse engineer it into a precision data asset. Your document must be designed purely as an active user interface, carefully constructed to guide the human eye exactly where you want it to go, in the exact order you want them to read it. We are going to build this document from the ground up, starting with a blank architectural space. The top 25% of this page is your apex real estate. What you place here dictates whether the remaining 75% will ever be looked at. Directly under your contact info, you need a clear job title. It must reflect the standard industry nomenclature for the job you are targeting, completely bypassing any quirky internal titles your current company uses. Next is the professional summary. The standard approach is to write that you are a highly motivated team player who works well under pressure. This is subjective noise, and recruiters ignore it entirely. Delete the subjective noise and replace it with a 2 to 3 line objective data dump. This section requires 3 specific components: your total years of experience, your primary professional domain, and a singular, verifiable anchor achievement. For example, an operations lead with 8 years in service transformation who reduced onboarding times by 30%. Removing soft skills forces the reader to focus on the data, which builds authority through objective evidence. This apex resume serves a single function. It buys the reader's attention and earns you the right to have the rest of your document evaluated. During a rapid skim, human physiology naturally seeks out structured lists. The eye will skip over dense paragraphs to anchor onto bullet points. We leverage this physiological trait by positioning a heart skill matrix immediately below your professional summary. Keep this matrix strictly limited to exactly 6 to 8 bullet points. These must be pure, relevant technical skills and tools that directly match the target job description. You must eliminate all cognitive noise from this list.
Remove subjective traits like teamwork, communication, or leadership. If you want to convey leadership, you convert it into a hard, quantifiable scope metric down in your experience section, like managing a 20-person cross-functional team across 3 time zones. A calibrated hard-scale matrix allows the recruiter to verify technical viability at a glance, removing the need to hunt through your work history for proof. When building out the work experience section, the most common error mid-career professionals make is listing their job description. A recruiter evaluating high-level talent already knows the baseline responsibilities of your job title. Listing your daily tasks yields 0 new information. We solve this by applying the impact over responsibility framework. This divides every role you list into 2 distinct parts. The top half is a short 2-sentence context block. This paragraph establishes your environment. You state the company's scale, the size of the team you operated within, and the overarching scope of your projects. This gives the reader a proper frame of reference. Directly beneath the context block, you deploy 2 to 4 distinct bullet points detailing your specific achievements. These achievements must be quantified. You anchor your impact using hard numbers, percentages, financial savings, or specific time reductions. Instead of stating you were responsible for project delivery, you state that you delivered a $400,000 saving by renegotiating supplier contracts. This structure documents you as an active driver of business results, rather than a passive observer of tasks. This diagram compares two layouts. Graphic-heavy two-column resume templates present a massive risk. The dual paths confuse the reader's eye. These complex designs introduce visual clutter. This creates cognitive friction, slowing down the reader and jeopardizing your 6-second evaluation window. The optimal architecture is a clean, single-column layout using a standard font size and generous whitespace. It makes the document effortless to scan. You also need to manage the length of the document through temporal attrition. Older work experience holds exponentially less value than your current role. Apply a ruthless editing rule. For any role older than 8 to 10 years, delete the bullet points entirely. Reduce those entries to just the company name, your title, and the dates you worked there. Dedicating valuable page space to ancient entry-level jobs actively dilutes your current executive authority. Keep the focus entirely on your most recent high-impact work. The engineered resume functions as the entry token to a broader systemic evaluation. Modern recruiters actively source candidates digitally. This means the high-signal architecture you built on paper must be mirrored exactly on your professional online profiles. To ensure discovery in digital databases, you must optimize 3 back-end signals. You need searchable, standardized job titles. You must tag a major metropolitan location, even for remote work, because recruiters search by city radius. And you must have an active Open to Work flag visible to recruiters. When these systems align, you bypass the digital filter and enter the final phase, the interview room itself. Once inside, remember that the interview is a two-way validation system. It is not an interrogation where you are the only one being tested. Once your engineered resume secures your seat at the table, your objective shifts. You move from presenting your own data to extracting intelligence, ensuring the employer and the management style actually meet your standards.